What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to Live Till Metal. It is time for an all-metal update! That's right, all metal, all vinyl, 12-inch. And I will be doing a separate hard rock update later down the road. But for now, all metal, all 12-inch vinyl, except for what's playing in the background right now. This is Sonick Plague, Outsold. This recently came in from Norway, and this band is a local band from Sarpsborg, I believe how you pronounce it, Norway. And my good buddy Kurt K-Morg sent this to me, and I'm just starting to listen to it today and yesterday. Really digging it. It's old school thrash metal. So yeah, that'll be playing the entire time I'm speaking. In the background, we're going to start right off with Motorhead, I Got Mine, 12-inch single from the UK. This is from the Another Perfect Day album, of course featuring Brian Robbo Robertson from Thin Lizzy and Wild Horses. Of course, then you got Lemmy and then Animal, Filthy Phil Taylor. And fortunately, we lost both Lemmy and Animal in the last few months, which is a bummer. But in any case, this is a 12-inch vinyl from the Another Perfect Day album. It includes Turn You Around and Tales of Glory on the B-side. Motorhead stuff from the 80s and 70s is becoming harder and harder to find. So I was very happy to pick this up in a trade on the Vinyl Community trade page with Luis Ramirez. Next up, this was actually a bit of VCLT, as they call it. A gift from Helmut Diggy. Unfortunately, it came in the mail, and I didn't realize it was him. I think the package said on it Donnie and Marie inside, Donnie Marie Osmond inside, or something like that. And so I was like, what the heck? So I opened it up, and of course, you know, I usually do those kind of openings live, but blew it on this one. So I just thought I'd show it as part of the metal update. This is Sonick Plague. This is a private label thrash metal band from, I forgot the year on this thing. I should have looked it up before I started this. About 1987, I think it was. 1987, 1988, 89, right around that area. Pure thrash metal, a bit of a punk vibe. Much better than the cover art might let you think it is. I actually kind of like the corny cover art. The jester being shot with the gun on his head right there. Name of the album, What's the Purpose? Down in the corner down here. I checked on Discogs. There are a few copies of this for sale, so it's not a very hard to find record. But I've never heard it before, so I was very glad to receive it from Helmut. Dig it. I like it. You know, thrash metal is my thing, so I'm very happy to have that as part of my collection. Sonick Plague, 1988. Let's just say that. Next up, brand new reissue. Rocks Records. Really happy to have this. Really happy to have been a part of this one. This is Recon, Behind Enemy Lines. Yes, I can't sing like him, but awesome. Kind of like very early Queensryche, but a little more heavy, a little more aggressive, not unlike, say, I don't know, maybe Hellstar. Yeah, that's actually probably a better comparison. I was recently speaking to somebody about this, and they were saying it kind of reminds them of those Texas 80s bands, and that's kind of a good comparison. This band is from LA. 3/5 of this band ended up in Deliverance by the year after this was released. Guitarist George Ochoa, bass player Mike Grotto, wherever he's at, there he is. Johnny, I believe his name is Gonzalez, Johnny Gonzalez, drummer, wherever he might be, there he is. Was it Johnny Gonzalez? What's the year? Yeah, Johnny Gonzalez. All those ended up being in Deliverance shortly after this album was released. I believe this is about 1991 this was released. Had to be, or 1990, right around that area. But very 80s feel to it. Straightforward, heavy metal, melodic, Jeff Tate-ish meets James Rivera-ish type vocals, soaring melodies. I absolutely love this album. It's one of my all-time favorites. When everybody asks me what is one of your favorite Christian heavy metal albums, this is one of my top 5 always. Reissued with new photos, new artwork, remastered. Comes with a lyric insert. Notice my bullet belt in the picture here, and my military pants, and a collage on the backside, which is mostly. The photos come from the collection of Eddie Starline, who is right, where is he? Eddie Starline right here. He's the one who sent me most of the photos And then the other things in here, like the patch, the set list, and some of the other things in here are actually from my collection. So very cool that I could have something included in here. This is actually on Flyers orange vinyl. Orange vinyl. Custom labels, as with most Rock releases, the Rock labels on one side, and then there's always a custom label on the back side. Recon, Behind Enemy Lines, the 25th anniversary edition, I believe is what it is. So it had to be 1990, right? Yeah. Next one I'm very, very proud of. This is part 2 in the Rock's Records Underground series. This is Ultimatum, Into the Pit, my band. This was our 2007 release. Into the Pit came out on Retroactive Records originally. Was never released on vinyl before, so very happy to finally have it on vinyl. It's in this very unique packaging that Rox is doing now for this Underground series. One Row Vision, which is Steve Rowe's band, was #1. I think #2 is going to be Pylon, which is a doom band. Ultimatum was #2. The sound on that thing is fantastic. He did a great job of remastering it. Comes with a reproduction concert poster from, I believe this is around 2005 or 7 or somewhere around that area, with Vindicator on the nationwide Ruination tour. Vindicator, Trasm, Dread, Ultimatum, and Suspended. As well, it comes with the 2015 Christmas card, and it is on a clear and red swirl sort of vinyl, which unfortunately to me makes it look rather pink. I'm not sure how well this is going to show on video, but if you try to light through it, or if you look at it closely, you can see it's actually red swirl into a clear vinyl. It's actually very unique. I've never seen anything quite like it. Wasn't exactly what we were hoping for. What we asked for was blood splatter vinyl. This is what we received. Still, like I said, very unique. Again, with the Rox, you always get the custom label on one side, and you get the Rox logo on the other side. So there you go, 2 brand new releases from Rox Records. I think there are maybe 20 copies left of the Ultimatum. The orange vinyl for Recon is completely sold out, but there are still some black vinyl available at roxproductions.com if anybody's interested in those. Another brand new reissue, Mortification, Scrolls of the Megalo. Australian death metal album on Soundmass, which is an Australian UK label. I think Soundmass is in both countries. And this too has an insert in it. This is actually got a very similar lyrics on one side, photos on the other. And this is also on a colored vinyl. It's a translucent red vinyl. So here you go. This is it had to be 1991 when that came out. That is just raw, aggressive death metal. Not uber fast, although there are some very, very, very fast parts in it. Just great early death metal. Some thrash metal influences. Hard to pick favorite songs on this one. I think the whole album is great. Of course, the very first one is song on here, Nocturnal. Nocturnal, creatures of the night. I love that song. I just love the whole album. This is a classic. Most people know this album who are anything into death or thrash metal. I'm not a huge death metal fan, but this is one of my favorite albums of the genre. Scrolls of the Megaloth, Soundmass. Next up, oh, this is very cool. This is another kind of gift. This is from Joe Baca, who sent me this. He found this, picked it up for me. This is Vector, Arizona technical thrash metal band. This is their second full-length album, Outer Limits. I have all 3 of their albums, including their first demo CD on CD. This is the first one I have on vinyl. Like I said, this came from Joe Baca, and there's the front cover and the back cover, and it's just on black vinyl, but it does have a nice picture sleeve. Unfortunately, the sleeve came a little beat up, as you can see, so I'm gonna have to replace the sleeve. You can see the custom center ring, the logo side, and the Skeleton's Viewing Sky side. Like I said, very technical, very techy thrash metal. To me, they kind of remind me of a modern Coroner. I said that to a few other people online who completely disagreed with me, but that's what they remind me of. The very black metal-ish vocal style, you know, very guttural, but not death and deep, more high-pitched and shrieky. Very interesting, very unique style. They don't sound a whole lot like a lot of the other new wave of thrash metal bands. They have their own unique style, which is what I really dig about them. And they also write long, technical songs, proggy, but they also incorporate memorable riffs, memorable hooks, which is one other thing I dig about them. So, Vector, keeping on. Glad to score this one because LJ Biosite showed this on his channel, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that was available on vinyl. And I went to go look for it on No Remorse Records. Usually the stuff that comes out on No Remorse Records is so, I mean, Heathen's Rage was 100 copies, and this one wasn't much more. This is Jacob's Dream. This is their first full-length album that was originally released on Metal Blade Records. I think it was around 1999-2000 it was originally released. This re-release was 2013, I think. Yeah, 2013. I managed to score the black vinyl copy. There was also red vinyl copies, which I don't really care what color it is. I just want the vinyl. Again, like a lot of the other ones I've shown, it comes with an insert. The thing about No Remorse Records is they're pretty sloppy with the inserts. There's a lot of mistakes on the one for the Heathen's Rage. There's a lot of mistakes on this one too. Biggest one being this is the wrong lineup for this album. This is not the correct singer. He's a great singer in his own right. That's Chaz Bond, who sang with Biogenesis and sang on the third album on Metal Blade with Jacob's Dream, but he did not sing on their first demo album, nor did he sing on the two albums that were released on Metal Blade before this. After that. Yeah, I don't know why that picture's on here, but regardless, still very cool to have this on vinyl finally. It sounds very good. Lyric sheet. Front and back cover. And these guys are very epic. Kind of fall in line with like bands like Warlord or Cirith Ungol. Kind of along that, you know, very epic metal. They're not afraid to use keyboards, but they're still heavy. They're still, you know, have both feet firmly planted in heavy metal ground. Yeah, I was really glad to pick this up and pick it up for a decent price. There was an individual seller on Amazon selling it, and I grabbed it from him quickly before they're gone. I was actually surprised that I didn't miss out on that one because I know the Heathen's Rage one sold out before it was even released. So I was glad to get a copy of that. This band has a brand new album out, but unfortunately this is their album, an older album that not unfortunately, but I finally picked up because I found a copy for a decent price. This is Anthrax Anthems. This is their all covers EP, with the exception of they have the song Crawl and the Crawl remix on here, which is Anthrax originals. They do, let's see, Anthem from Rush, TNT, AC/DC, Smokin' from Boston, Keep On Running by Journey, Big Eyes from Cheap Trick, Jailbreak from Thin Lizzy. I like this album a lot. Been wanting to get it on vinyl for a while, but I wasn't willing to pay, you know, 20, 30 bucks for an EP basically. And I found this one for a very, very good price, so I snagged it real quick. Still need to get their new album on vinyl, though I do have it on CD and playing it quite a bit. This is on colored vinyl. Bit of static in here. Now that is splatter vinyl. Anthrax, one of my favorite bands of the big four. They've always been my favorites. Local boys from when I was growing up. Get to see them a couple times in the clubs back in the day at the Lemoore and City Gardens, and just love Anthrax. They're my favorite of the big four, with Megadeth being a close second. Another one came from Greece, along with that No Remorse I just showed from. This is Sacred Reich, Humanitarian. Try one more time. Theater Humanitarian. This is old school heavy metal, right along the lines with what I showed you earlier with the Recon, early Queen's Reich. A little bit heavier at times, melodic vocals, galloping riffs, a bit technical, a bit progressive, but not overly so. You know, this is not Dream Theater by any stretch of the imagination. You know, this is heavy metal. And again, this was released on let's see here, 525 copies. This is 279 of 525 on Arcane Steel Records out of Greece. This is a gatefold. I believe this is just black vinyl as well. Yeah, black vinyl. Custom black and white center rings. Again, another one that I was happy to find. This one's been out for a little while. And I was searching for that Jacob's Dream and came across this one as well from the same seller and jumped on it because I've been wanting to grab this one as well. Highly recommend it if you like that, you know, old school Sacred Warrior, early Queensryche, like EP style Queensryche kind of stuff. Sacred Rain. R-A-Y-N-E. Yeah, Rain. Want to make sure I was saying it right. And I always have problems with the name. Theater Humanitarian. And I've had this on CD since it first came out, so, and I still have the original CD. But it's nice to have it on vinyl. Okay, next up, this band's been around since the 80s. But they were most prolific in the 90s and 2000s. In the 80s, for whatever reason, this California band couldn't secure a contract and only released a bunch of, you know, self-financed demos and whatnot. This is Steel Prophets, and this is another one that came out of Greece. Bought this from the same seller for the last two Grease records that I showed. This is Shallows of Forever, and it contains the Iron Tyrants compilation from 1986, Visions of Force demo tape from 1988, and the Steel Prophet demo from 1986. And of course, the big deal about this was Rick Mathiasen was not yet on vocals on this album. You did have on bass Vince Dennis, who was on and off with the band right up until the 90s and 2000s, and I never can pronounce his name right, but Steve Kaczynski, I believe is how you say it, who's a guitar player, who is the main man behind the band, who is on all those demos on here. Yeah, so just old school, galloping heavy metal, nothing like too progressive or technical, just galloping old school heavy metal. And it's really nice to get this on vinyl. This is actually this second old school album I picked up from them on vinyl. Yeah, I like the artwork too. It's, you know, it's got the old school hand-drawn vibe, although the background obviously looks like it's added in by a computer. But Steel Legacy Records, this is number 330 of 270. I believe once again this is out of Greece. Sound quality is not perfect. Like I said, it is demo quality material, but it is, you know, what can I say? It's 80s demos, and it's good stuff. I believe there was an insert inside of here too. So let me just check on that real quick. Hold on a second here. Yes, there is an insert. Two inserts, actually. There is a copy of an old Steel Prophet bio sheet that I'm sure they used to send out to labels when they were sending out their demo tape. And then there is also the insert with the lyrics and photos and a little bit of a biography and whatnot. I did read through this one time, and the guitar player, I believe, is who wrote this, and he kind of, you can tell he wasn't real happy with the stuff that was released, but he's releasing it because he knows there's fans who like it. That's kind of the vibe I got from reading his little bio on here. He's like, no, this stuff's not good enough to be released. I can understand why we didn't have a label at that point, but you know what? It's underground heavy metal, and I really enjoy the band, so it's very cool to have something that shows their beginnings. Okay, keep it on. Wasting time here. Burning Daylight. This is the new album from Striker, and this is Standing in the Fire. Man, this is a great album. Solid heavy metal. Huge, big hooks. Those big 80s hooks. You know, they're much heavier than like a band like Skid Row, but they kind of have those hooks like Skid Row had. A little more power metal-ish than a lot of the bands that are in the new wave of traditional heavy metal, at least on this album. Big vocals, gang vocals, harmonies. This album is just fantastic. This will definitely make my top 20 for 2016, unless there's a whole lot of stuff to push it out, because right now this thing has been dominating not only my turntable but my CD player. This came with a digital download, which I've already taken and downloaded onto a CD that I've been playing in my car. I think that my first single might have been either Stand in the Fire or Too Late. Can't remember which one it was, but I saw the video for that and that hooked me right there. New wave of traditional heavy metal, Canadian band Striker, Stand in the Fire. Alright, we're getting down to the bottom of the pile. 3 more to go. This is, I believe, the second album from St. Vitus. This is Hollow's Victim. This is a repressing. It says SST Records. I can only assume that's the correct label. I picked this up at our local record store, Charlie's Records in Albuquerque, and they had a sticker on it that said it was in mint condition. It was, I think it was $18.99, $19, something like that, which I thought was a little steep. But then I found out it was 180 gram repressing and not the original pressing, or at least it's, I don't know if it's 180 gram, but it is a repressing on a funky colored marbleized vinyl. Now I kind of wish it would have been just black. Doom needs to be on black, not pink. But regardless, cool. I finally got that one in my collection. Been looking, you know, trying to fill the gaps in my St. Vitus collection recently, and I was shocked to find it sitting in a used bin, even if it was for $19. And I talked to the guy there, and they wouldn't barter on it, so I did pay the $19. Unfortunately, metal vinyl, that's the going price about now, you know, anywhere from $15 to $25, and so right in the middle, that's where I grabbed this one for St. Vitus. Alright, next up, re-release of one of my favorite power metal albums from the 90s. This is also a limited edition pressing. My copy is 219 of 250 on Alone Records. I believe this was originally released in 99, 2000. This is Angel Dust, Light in the Darkness. I still have my original CD pressing. The original CD pressing, the Angel Dust itself, is pressed with gold foil stamp. Anyhow, some people may know Angel Dust from the late 80s when they were releasing thrash metal, and then as they went into the 90s, they changed their style to more of a straightforward heavy metal, power metal, and this is just one of their best albums. I absolutely love this album, and when I saw this was released, I had to grab it immediately. And from what I see, the early thrash metal albums are also going to be re-released very shortly, and I believe it's on No Remorse Records out of Greece as well. So, Angel Dust, Light in the Darkness. And the last one for this metal update. Woo! This is the EP from the reunited Cold Steel. I showed the CD just a video or two ago in my What's Spinning. Had to grab the vinyl. This is just friggin' awesome. Thrash metal. Pick it up if you don't already have it before they're gone. My copy came with a sticker and a postcard. 5-song EP. If you want to hear the samples of this album, go ahead and check back to that What's Spinning. I'll put a link above so you can click on it and check it out. This is the band from 1990s, late 80s, early 90s. They released their last full-length album in 1992. This album comes a little over 20 years after the fact, but it's still great. This is an awesome album. Just check out the link that I provide and look at some of the quotes from people, because everybody was loving this, and I can see why. It's just fantastic. Speed thrash metal from the New Jersey-based Cold Steel. American Idol, I-D-L-E, not American Idol like the show, America Idol like we're standing still and letting our rights be taken from us. That's what this is basically all about. So there you go, Cold Steel. And that's it for this edition of Metal Update. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of those records. Leave a message below. And I definitely will respond to everybody. And thumbs up if you liked it. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. And that's it. God bless. Stay strong. And let's get right into it. That's right, everybody. This is time. I am having a problem speaking tonight.